We welcome you back to Disney Infinity 2.0. We praise you for coming. Today we are looking at Venom. Not just Peasley Parker, Brock, Thompson, Osprey, and Toxin.
Oh, sorry about that. CEO kinda took control of me. He was kinda angry because I was going like all mad Call of Duty. Welcome to a very special episode of Disney Infinity 2.0, where we are taking a look at a beloved character. And this isn't just a whole, oh, we're playing as this character today, are we? What a shame. So we're going to be taking a look at the lore of not just Eddie Brock, not even Peter Parker. And Peter Parker? We're not going to take a look at Matt Gordon because, okay, he wasn't really the best. We're also going to take a look at Anti-Venom, Agent Venom, and Toxin. So let's get things started with the first host of Venom, the symbiote who started it all, Peter Parker. Where do we begin with Peter Parker? We all know who Peter Parker is, but how did he come in contact with the symbiote? Secret Wars, a historical event which acts Peter Parker take place during a planet where a bunch of villains got working. I'm not well with the Secret Wars storyline. I have an idea. There was a giant war happening on a planet. Came in contact with Mud, and then he was like, hey, there's a black suit. I didn't know the suit was powered by Ray. Yes, the symbiote is controlled by Ray. By Venom! Causing him to lash out in so many ways. Peter Parker, with his hatred going on with his life, all the problems with it, his uncle being dead, no one being able to fix it. No one being able to fix it. J. Jonah Jameson gave him a lot of crap. He embraced the symbiote, becoming a much larger threat seen in so many of the animated Spider-Man shows. The more important part about symbiote Spider-Man is that he managed to overcome it, which was surprising. Peter Parker eventually overcame it, becoming the bomb-tastic Bagman in one issue of the Fantastic Four, where he finally reviewed himself as Venom, or it was either he wanted to do some studies on the suit and nothing else to wear. But then came our next subject of the symbiotes. The symbiote and him both hated the same person. Someone who hated Spider-Man and the symbiote who hated Peter Parker. Actually, how about a man who hates both Peter Parker and Spider-Man, as well as someone who was Peter Parker and Spider-Man? Eddie Brock. Eddie Brock grew to hate Peter Parker and Spider-Man throughout his life. On so many occasions, and he later became the symbiote, and Eddie Brock became a sad character. Did the symbiote ruining his life and ruin his connections with other characters in the Marvel Universe? It was quite sad. It happened to him. What's not even more sad is that he eventually grew blood vessels in his arm of the Venom. He eventually became this Venom knowing who Spider-Man was, and later grew an offspring by the name of Carnage. Again, I plan for this to be a long one, so the fact we're already on the second Venom at 4 minutes doesn't really help me kiss. Anywho, he later became the Venom we all know and love, appearing in so many mass media and growing a part of, well, Venom. Venom came from space, and the fact that most of the storylines cover it, J. Jonah Jameson's son brought him down because he was on a meteoroid, or that he was connected to the ship, at least the one I like to acknowledge. Now you're probably wondering why you're choosing Winter Soldier. I'm gonna get to that in a while. It brings me to a theory about which Venom this is. Venom eventually, due to this being caused by fear, love, hatred, certain emotions, love can lead to hatred. He became one of the most important, probably one of the best Spider-Man villains of its all time. I read a story arc which Eddie Brock actually wanted to become a hero. Yes, Eddie Brock, he wanted to change his way, came to grips with the symbiote, and wanted to change his life completely. So he joined up with Spider-Man to take down some rabbit lady. I tell you again, it's a long time since I read that comic. I'm pretty sure everyone knows what I'm talking about. The symbiote is an important species, having a lot of spawns and having a clear symbiote storyline. But let's move on to one thing we all love about Venom. I was worried he's lagging there. I'm scared because I was lagging. Anywho, who is Venom? What makes him angry? But he later did create a spawn of the most crazy psychopath in the Marvel Universe. Cletus Cassidy. Who is Cletus Cassidy? Oh, come on! He's Carnage! You know. Carnage? Cletus Cassidy? Hi, it's like me to know you guys. He was pretty much a psychopath, and the fact that that was his choice of a spawn? What the heck? That wasn't even a good option. I mean, he's crazy. He killed his mother, his grandmother, and he killed a dog. Again, I didn't like Cletus Cassidy as a character, but he was excellent in Spider-Man animation. Don't you want to see? But he later did become a spawn, and his roommate was Eddie Brock. And the symbiote came pregnant and was like, here, take it. And it was went to his bloodstream, which is why he's all right. Cletus cut himself. It went in there, and he's like, ah, Carnage. Oh, ooh, Carnage is deadly. Ugh, just talking about him giving you the heebie-jeebies. Now again, I talked about how there's a lot of problems with the symbiotes. This is one of them. Carnage was stronger than Venom. What? You all doubt me? Well, prepare to be doubted. How can I prove this? It took Spider-Man. It took Spider-Man and Venom to take this bloke down, and that's pretty incredible. I'll give you that, Carnage. And he's like, we are Carnage, and his sense is spawned by anger. Little did we know that soon soon have a future spawn to cause a problemo. But next, we're on to our first Spider-Man. We're like covering not Spider-Man, symbiote. We're covering like a symbiote in 2 minutes. It's pretty remarkable. Anywho, the next symbiote I'm talking about is Anti-Venom, which wished to cure the world of Venom. Because this was the time when Matt Gorgon was currently Venom and Spider-Man was being hunted down by the Thunderbolts, which Norman Osborn funded. I'm a great Excelsior, you know. Anywho, the excellent part about this storyline is that he eventually grew cancer and had the symbiote in there. But he was at the homeless shelter with Mr. Negative, you know, that guy who was didn't know he was evil and good. He had a game where there was a white piece and there was a black piece. The great quote is that you don't, whether who plays, whoever wins, good or bad, you have to play the game. I love that. That was a quote I will still use to this day. No matter who wins, good or bad, you still have to play the game. But Mr. Negative caused a problem with Eddie's blood. This was the homeless shelter with Aunt May. And Gordon was kind of at it, searching for Peter Parker, who was the previous host. But no, he actually found Venom in the homeless shelter. But this was the time when the parts in his blood began to react, found the white blood cells of the symbiote in his bloodstream. And wouldn't we know it, by the time we came across the dear old character that we all know and love, Anti-Venom, who's Eddie Brock. Yes, we shall know. The storyline that was pretty important. Later, once Gordon attacked, he became the bloody master. Venom, who was white with the black spider symbol on it. This became Anti-Venom. He actually wanted to become a hero to help save the world and get rid of Venom, just making his name Anti-Venom. He later did join Spider-Man to take down the symbiotes and the Thunderbolts. This was the part where Spider-Man, did not have such a good thing as the symbiote, you know. Spider's powers would not react with the symbiote around him, so they went separately. Yeah. I know you're thinking, I already talked about these few Venoms, and if it's 11-ish, okay, that was the longest Venom we talked about. Either it was the shortest, because I saw it, we were talking about Carnage. I might as well talk about before I get to the main event, Toxin. I know you're probably thinking who the main event was. It was no other than Venom. Toxin was the spawn of Carnage, and that's pretty bad, but it's the 1000th in the line of Venom's family, so they're like, it's Protocol! And Carnage is like, he will challenge us! Due to anger us! Kill us in our place. So what did Carnage want to do? He wanted to kill his own spawn before everyone against him. And there was a cop that got in its way, later becoming the host of Toxin. Again, I don't know who that is. I forgot what his name was. It's real Toxin! Actually, before Carnage appeared in the Ultimate Spider-Man, looked more like Toxin and Carnage. I'm just gonna say that, because it was a spawn of... Okay, it was a spawn. A spawn of... Okay, it was a form of symbiote. The next contender on our list for the most craziest Spider-Man would be... Because later he had a child, and Venom wanted to protect his last son, realizing he did great things, and wanted him to fight crime with him. And this was like, oh, Venom's a good guy. We're gonna couple more seconds. I am the pariah. No, I'm the prophet. See, this is not gonna work usually down the line. So later on, he runs with Felicity Cassidy and says, I have to arrest you, but he later became this Venom-like creature, Toxin, and it's just like, everything's changed. And that's sad. Everything has changed in his police car. He has... And when his father even came in, he thought Carnage and was scared and almost dropped his own child named Eddie. After his grandfather? Later on, Toxin did appear to the funeral of the artist. That he saved. And he managed to join up with both Venom to take down Carnage, and then Carnage realized, both Venom and Carnage realized that Toxin was a far greater superior to any of them, and Venom realized the trouble that this guy would cause for him later down the line. But you don't believe me that this is going to cause problems down the lane? You have a really strong symbiote that doesn't learn how to control his rage. I mean, that's going to be a problem. But now let's move on to more interesting part of the graveyard ceremony. He's attacked by both Venom and Connors. Both of them realizing how dangerous he's become. Spider-Man and Black Cat do help. So, Spider-Man encourages him to become a hero. Toxin is probably one of the only characters I would encourage. I'm a hero. The Rock did try for a little bit, and it worked pretty well. The next inhabitant of the symbiote, known by the name of Agent Venom, by Eddie Brock. And Eddie Brock, I grew not to like him, but later on, I grew to love him. How? He had a dream problem. He joined the military. He became friends with Peter Parker. He felt this character got married. It's so bored. I kind of cried. He had a dream problem, and he went to the war, and I think I rocked. And he lost his legs. And then he'd be like, I'm a soldier with post-traumatic stress disorder. He later did eventually have a heart. But then he joined the military, part of his still in service duty, and then they're like, hey, you want to join the military? Sure, here, we need you to test out the Venom thing so you can become like an agent for us. And he was like, cool, man. So he later did become a symbiote, Agent Venom. And he did some really nice things, but the problem was, it could be only 48 hours. And he wasn't supposed to lash out of control. But the nice part was, it gave him his legs back. It gave him his legs back, and he was filled with joy with that. He later took on missions, same old, but later he found out J. Jonah Jameson's wife died, and it felt really bad to part with her. And his wife asked him to go see Peter, knowing how bad it would hurt, considering they two had just become friends. But he was called into a mission where true Venom would take over. He was sent to help him some banker. And he later did help. I'm not saying that he didn't. I'm not saying that he did. But later he lost it all. When he was being attacked, he lost his symbiote legs. And he just lost it. He went complete Venom. And then he completely massacred the whole army. Yeah, believe me, this stuff is trippy, dude. It really is trippy. After his mission, the guy calls him a cannibal, a monster. And then he's leaving his final mission. He says, see you tomorrow, partner. Joining his subconscious with this symbiote. Coming next. Possible Venom. And that was the coup de grace. Agent Venom. Which brings me to a theory that this is actually Eddie Brock Venom who just has lost control. Because he is a human. Not Eddie Brock. Why can't I keep it together? Because it's not been clear about which Venom this is. Flash Thompson, Harry Osborn, Gorgon. But I highly bet it's Flash Thompson. Considering Marvel's been putting a lot of stuff down our throats recently, you know, making us want to like Scott Lang. Of course, nothing like Scott Lang. Why does it keep on lying? So yeah, that's pretty much Venom. We did see it in several films where he was saved by Coke or something. And they were like, oh, no, this is not good. Now, why they make this film? Why? Why? I do want Venom to appear in the MCU, but not in the first Spider-Man film. Maybe like give the characters growth so we can actually care. But at least having the secret ending for Guardians of the Galaxy 2 be like, Pete, there's some slime stuck to the back of the ladder. Okay, just show it off. And then it lands on Earth, where we see like J. Jonah Jameson, and it just lands there, and then it just walks away. I love that in post-credit scene. Okay, so now we have to say goodbye to Venom. He's appeared in so many animated shows. My favorite was the Spectacular, where he's saying so close to revealing Spider-Man's identity, and he made Spider-Man paranoid. Thank you. I hope you learned a lot about this symbiote today. I'm sorry if you didn't. Sorry about the lagging. I need to turn it off and let it cool down a bit. So yeah. If you learned something cool about Agent Venom, tell me what you learned about Venom. Next time we'll be covering Nova. I don't know which. I don't know if I can find much on Alexander. Sam Alexander. I'll mostly find stuff on Rami and Day. That's far more easier to find information on Rami and Day. So, Venom. Sure, he's slimy and sinister, but wait till you get to know him.
We are Venom. We are superior Venom.
I don't know if there's any superior Venom. I think that's just something they made up. I just don't think there really is a superior Venom, because superior comics haven't gone on that long.
But we are Venom. Hope you enjoyed watching our video about our offspring. His host, I like. Our new host. We like him. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, or Venom will be